Hey, so now let's talk about some practical applications of Bhagavatam and Vedic knowledge for different modern challenges, right? So, how Bhagavatam's integrated knowledge system can offer solutions to contemporary issues. So, how does this ancient knowledge, help us address the complex challenges we face today? And the answer lies in the Bhagavatam's integrated approach, right? The ability to connect scientific understanding with ethical frameworks, individual development with cosmic context, and technological advancement with consciousness evolution. Let's look at the science and technology area, right? So the modern science faces um, a critical challenge. The first one is the fragmentation. So we have a brilliant specialist in physics who know little about consciousness researchers who ignore cosmic context, and technologists who develop powerful tools without ethical framework. And kind of the AI currently falls into that, and that's what a lot of people are working towards, the ethical use of AI. The Bhagavatam's integrated knowledge systems offers solution, right? The text presents what we might call a unified field theory that connects matter, consciousness, and purpose. Like I just said, when developing artificial intelligence, for example, the Bhagavatam's descriptions of consciousness, matter interaction provides insights that purely materialist approaches miss. When advanced quantum computing, um, the text the text integration of observer consciousness with quantum phenomena offers practical guidance that current quantum mechanics lacks. Now let's look at the ethical technology, quote unquote, what you can call as a framework. So Bhagavatam addresses a challenge that's becoming increasingly urgent, right? And I just talked about that for artificial intelligence. Technological advances without ethical framework. The text provides systematic principles of evaluating whether technological developments serve human welfare or create new problems. The ancient text describes how technology should be applied for the benefit of all living beings, how technological power should be balanced with wisdom, and how scientific advancement should support rather than undermine consciousness development. These principles offer practical guidance for contemporary issues like genetic engineering, artificial intelligence, ethics, part of it, and environmental technology. Another key topic, let's talk about sustainability and environment. So, so environmental crisis represents one of the most pressing challenges, and uh, and and here the Bhagavatam's approach is revolutionary. Um, Rather than seeing humans as separate from or opposed to nature, the text presents the conscious stewardship model where humans serve as caretakers of natural systems, right? Resources. Bhagavatam describes sustainable living principles based on harmony with natural cycles, consciousness, resource management, and understanding the interconnection between human um, consciousness and environmental health. The text shows how environmental degradation reflects consciousness degradation, and how environmental healing requires consciousness healing. Um, Consciousness studies, let's talk about that. Modern neuroscience face what philosophers uh, call the hard problem of consciousness, right? How subjective experience relates to objective brain processes. The Bhagavatam doesn't see this as a problem um, because it never separated consciousness from matter in the first place. The text provides sophisticated models of consciousness and fundamental consciousness as fundamental rather than emergent, detailed methodologies for studying consciousness through first person experience, and practical techniques for integrated subjective and objective approaches to consciousness research. This integrations offers solutions, current impacts in consciousness studies and neuroscience, right? So, not last but the least, but social and educational systems, right? Um, so, our educational systems face a crisis of purpose, focusing on information transfer rather than wisdom development, right? Now you can see why I titled this as wisdom. Um, Technical skills rather than character formation, and specialization rather than integration. Again, I'll repeat it. Um, our educational system face a crisis of purpose because they are focusing on information transfer rather than wisdom development, focusing on technical skills rather than character formation, focusing on specialization rather than integration. So Bhagavan presents a holistic um, educational model that addresses these limitations. The text describes educational approach to integrate character development and knowledge acquisition, practical skills with philosophical understanding, and individual growth with social responsibility. This model offers framework for educational reforms that address both technical competencies and human development. Um, modern societies struggle with questions of purpose and meaning. What are we working toward, and why? And later, after we finish all the cantos, we will be talking more into this area, right? What are we working toward and why? The Bhagavatam presents purpose driven social organization based on individual and collective growth rather than mere economic accumulation or political power, right? We see this every day today across the globe. The text describe how social structures can support both individual development and collective welfare, how economic systems can serve consciousness evolution rather than just material accumulation, and how political organizations can facilitate, rather than hinder human potential development. What makes Bhagavatam's approach practical is its integration methodology. The text doesn't just present isolated solutions, but shows how different approaches connect and support each other. Environmental solutions connect with consciousness development, technological advancement integrates with ethical frameworks, and individual growth supports collective welfare. This integration methodology offers exactly what we need for addressing complex contemporary challenges that span multiple domains and require interdisciplinary solutions. Remarkably, contemporary research continues to validate the Bhagavatam's integrated approaches. Studies in Positive psychology confirm the importance of purpose and meaning for human welfare. Research in environmental psychology shows connections between consciousness and environmental behavior. Investigations in consciousness studies reveal the limitations of purely materialistic approaches. The Bhagavatam offers more than historical curiosity. It provides a practical blueprint for addressing contemporary challenges through integrated knowledge system. By combining ancient wisdom with modern discoveries, we can develop more comprehensive solutions that serve both technological advancement and human welfare, both individual development and collective flourishing. Again, very important statement, I'll repeat. By combining ancient wisdom with modern discoveries, we can develop more comprehensive solutions that serve both technological advancement and human welfare, both individual development and collective flourishing.